Hi, welcome to another episode of That's the Thing Overture. Nope, That's the Thing 2 Overture, episode 5,
Yep.
and it is Wednesday, February the 8th.
Yeah. I'm Kevin.
I'm Drew.
No.
Anyway, let's talk. Let's talk turkey and get into it with Drew. Tell us about active shooters.
We need
This
day and age.
Active shooter drills. See, Drew was late because he had to do an active shooter drill, so he's going to tell us about it.
I didn't pay that much attention.
No, that's even better.
It's because so the stupid thing is we already have mandatory active shooter training that we have to take, and then you get the little test on it, and you take the test, and if you don't pass it, you have to do it again. But this was like a completely another one that was still all the same information that we were required to go to because of reasons.
Yeah.
I know this podcast won't really ever get tied to my professional life.
No, that's fine. If they do, then we've either succeeded or failed.
God. Seriously,
can
you imagine?
That's how I view like all of my internet like shenanigans. Is that if it's ever coming up, I have succeeded beyond my wildest dreams. If someone's like, "What were you said on Twitter?" It's like, yeah.
Yeah, but what about episode 5 of That's the Thing 2? Do you remember when you were talking about your active shooter training? A non-disclosure agreement breach occurred.
Oh no! I don't know. I had to take like.
And at that point, I'm just gonna stop and be like, "Oh, you listen to the podcast? Man, I gotta tell Kevin. He'll be excited."
I will be.
No,
excited.
Drew. The problem is the shooter might be listening to the podcast, and now he knows.
Oh, he knows all the tips.
No, see, now he's discouraged because we're getting double the training. He should go to some other college.
No. What's happening is the problem is that now, like the person who had listened to the podcast to confirm it has suffered like undue injury. So now we're like liable for their harm. They're like, oh. They get wheeled into like the courtroom in like a hospital bed on an IV in like a comatose state. And the judge.
Meanwhile, we're just talking to the offense attorney of like, "Oh, sick! You listen to the podcast?
Oh, thanks. You smashed that like.
Did you ring the
Write
bell?
a comment.
Yo, I'm gonna have to enter in a plea agreement because I cannot confirm that my content caused like a comatose paralysis state. I mean, that's one of the effects.
Your Honor, who would actually listen to us?
Ooh, that's a Perry Mason defense. There you go.
That's a Tucker Carlson defense."
Yeah.
No, the Tucker Carlson defense is like you post a picture of yourself and you get mad over like some conservative thing on like the M&Ms aren't sexy enough, and then you get real mad about it. And then
Why did they remove the dick vein from my Snickers? Is this woke culture?
It is.
You do know, like, Tucker Carlson, Fox News' attorney, argued that, no, Judge, nobody who listens to Tucker Carlson could actually be taking him seriously. Listen to him.
Well, yeah, that was part of their other stuff. That's like
Yeah.
the Alex Jones defense.
Yeah.
Where you're claiming to be a parody.
Yeah.
Your Honor, I was actually Andy Kaufman all along.
Oh
Yeah.
That is the twist. That's our twist. If someone ever sues us for stuff, we go, it was a social experiment. Don't you see?
Yeah, go back and listen. That Kevin was too busy not talking about Kage in episode 1 because he was explaining the social experiment that is this
exactly.
podcast
If you pull the numbers and you take out the first letter of each word, what you'll reveal is the true manifesto. And that is, I don't think Pokemon Gold and Silver are very good compared to the other games. It's controversial opinion. It's the hot take. But they're like
the hottest.
They're like not my favorites. I think they get a lot of excuse because that one pop off.
Here's the thing. They were great when there was only 3 other games.
I think the pop off of going back to Kanto makes people forget that Johto is not very good, and the level
It kind of sucks.
distribution of that game has Pokemon distribution of that game also has issues.
I just remember getting to Pseudo Wudo and then stopping, and then years later starting over and getting to Pseudo Wudo and then stopping.
I
And like I
remember
just don't care.
See, because I remember on my original Game Boy playthrough of it, or like whenever I could transfer my team of hundreds from yellow, I did
Yeah.
as you were, and then I just stomped through the rest of the game. But I remember beforehand, like when I played Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Actually, no, this isn't the first one. When I saw Houndour, and I'm like, oh, sick. It's like a dark fire devil dog. I am in. I love it. Where can I get this cool Pokemon? And it was like, you
Oh,
can,
not in your game.
you can catch that thing outside of Celadon City in Kanto. When and it starts at like level 20 or something, when you're like in the 50s around that point. I'm like, man,
Why?
like all the cool Pokemon in that game are way late, and they start way, or like you're low, where you're getting like, yo, you like that Sin trait, you're getting them. You like these trainers where everyone has like a Geodude,
Yeah.
and you're
Yo,
you're
you want Hoot Hoot?
I remember that was one where I played Heart Gold, Soul Silver. And this is my complaint about this stupid game. I kind of want to complain about Pokemon a little bit more
That's
because
fine. Let's do it. That's what this is for.
so
Let's talk about
what?
how Murkrow is broken right now.
Oh, Murkrow. Well, that's fascinating. I looked into that because that's Prankster and Defog, which ruins the Vor fish Pokemon.
Yeah.
But it's one of my issues with this current with the current issue with Pokemon is that this is the one where I didn't play. I did not buy into it like at all. Mainly partially
Yep.
because it's
Same.
broken, partially because I feel like Pokemon works the best when I have a community of people to play it. It's I kind of feel the same about like Magic. Actually, a lot of games where like I like it when it's part of the cultural phenomenon, as it were.
You are a social gamer.
Technically, yes. I know it. I know that is like the ultimate in hypocrisy from
It's the
myself.
ultimate Kev. It's the ultimate Kevin twist. Is no, I like to play games so I can interact with humans.
No, well, it's yes. I like it. See, I like it when my introvert game like skills and tendencies have real world positive effects. So when I'm at home researching Pokemans, and then when I go to the real life Pokemans, I'm like, yo, check out my sick Mewtwo, and everyone goes, oh man, Kevin's so cool. I'm like, yeah, yeah. The snake eats its own tail. I love it. But otherwise, I don't like it. It's kind of like I think I was thinking about it the other day when I play Magic on Magic Arena, I only care about winning. Like playing something fun or unique does not give me the endorphins of winning. Unless that fun or unique thing is a new way to win because no one else has tried it. Because there's no like social interaction or social credit. Or like when you're playing in public, sometimes you want to be doing that weird thing so everyone thinks you're cool. And that's great.
Yeah.
But when I'm online, like no one cares.
Nope.
No one.
It's did he win or not?
Yeah, I won.
No, Kevin, that's where you get on. What is it? The online
Twitch.
Pokemon thing.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
yeah
The
the
I have no
battle
idea what it's
spot or
called.
whatever.
Yeah,
It's just like ranked mode. Well, also part of my issue with that is like I don't want to raise Pokemon. I think it's really
Yep.
boring. I think that's like the most boring part. I did the shoddy battle. Like I whatever. But my back sort of on topic is I'm upset that Scarlet and Violet is the Pokemans where like I dipped out, and this is the year where like the Pokemon tournaments is going to like Knoxville. So it's as
Yep.
close as it's ever been. And I'm so mad. I'm so
funny.
mad that like the one where it's like I could technically drive out there for a day, not even a problem, and do it.
Yep.
And it's the one where I don't get any of the I was out.
There's still time. You could get in now, Kevin.
Wait, what's this called?
It's the Pokemon VGC. There's also a Pokemon. What is it? It's the one where like it's not net battle.
It's like the one you actually do on your computer.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I see that one. I have.
But you can chat with people.
Yes, you do.
Yeah,
while you're
because
I've seen
scrub
it.
quotes come from that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've it's Pokemon Showdown. I remember that
Yeah.
because I used like with that Pokemon Showdown accounts got all hacked for some reason, and I used like all of my crap throwaway accounts to use the same password, which meant that's how my Reddit account got flagged as 18 plus because it started spamming porn. And then I had to reclaim my Reddit account, and then I had to I didn't have to, but I apologized to the porn boards for getting my account hacked. I'm like, sorry, dudes.
So there's for those unaware, there's a great website called Have I Been Pwned, where you can enter an email address and it'll tell you any data leaks that account has been attached to.
Yeah. So far, I have not had any issues where like I've been changing See, that got me to say, all right, everything has a unique password, and everything with a cache attached to it has a 2-factor, and that's kind of gone away.
Yep.
Because I feel, even though technically they can theoretically get in there, but I am not famous enough. It's the catch-22, where if I was famous enough to worry about that, then I have other issues.
Yeah.
Like if someone's coming out after me, then I got some problems. But yeah, that was a problem. I was just also thinking, just kind of spitballing. I watched a little bit of like the Tekken to understand the Tekken systems.
God, it's just so much though.
There's a lot going on with like the rage system. And then the heat system.
Yep.
I feel like with the introduction of the heat system, it would be criminal not to have a Yakuza character in there now.
For real.
Because, like, come on. I understand that Sega doesn't want to have Kazuma Kiryu beating up a girl, so just put in Majima. Just put him in there. He has moves.
Give him his knife. Come on.
That'd be a stance. He'd have, like, knife stance. That's his gimmick.
Then he has breaker stance.
Yeah, of course. He would have breaker, he would have knife, and then you would have, I forget the other one.
What's the other one? It was something with the bat.
Yeah. I don't remember, but whatever. They give him. Yeah, if you put Negan with a bat, you can have Majima with a knife. It's fine.
Seriously.
Or Noctis with his like Final
If
Fantasy.
Nina
sword.
can just have a gun.
That's true.
I think everything's on the table.
Yeah, but yeah, like just put him in there. But yeah, there's a lot.
Okay. No, you're good.
I was saying there's a lot going on there. I think the rage mode or the heat mode is interesting, where all attacks do chip, and then they also heal, and then they also like every time you're hitting, the meter doesn't go down.
Like, I don't want to say it, but also it's got that Bloodborne of, no, you have to be aggressive.
Well, I think that's, yeah.
You get rewarded for the aggression. You get health back for being aggressive. You get to keep your heat gauge because you're aggressive.
I also like that because it both encourages and discourages the button mashing playstyle. Because basically, as we know from Tekken, you get counter hit, you die.
Yep. You get one hop kick to death.
Yeah, but this encourages that situation to have more, which at the low level is going to make mashing a lot more satisfying to people who are like getting into it and they're just hitting the buttons. But it's also going to be like, oh, you activated and now you want to punch, which means I'm really going to wait for that parry or that counter hit. I also like the philosophy, at least from like a basic mood, where like you have the one button to activate your heat meter mode, but then there's like 5 moves per character that can do it if you like hold it. And the explanation was, well, we wanted to give like the 5 important moves to everyone. So if you just want to like really get like the basics of what this character's about, look what turns on the heat mode, which is like, that's good. I like that as like, what am I supposed to do with Yoshimitsu? It's like step 1. All right, look at the moves that turn on the heat mode. And you're like, okay, that's kind of what it's about. I think that's a good idea.
I agree.
I kind of want other fighting games to steal that. Of like, okay, here's like the 3 or 4 moves your character need. Here's your bread and butter moves. Here's what you need to know. I understand that this is in a menu, and you can go into training mode and hit that thing. Even though sometimes I don't like it, where like the training mode combo is not the bread and butter. I'm looking at you, King of Fighters 13.
Oh, basically they never are.
I
Like you should. So I was surprised at how like actually useful Street Fighter V had. It's like training mode combos, because typically it's always just like, well, here's something that's more so an exploration of system mechanics to familiarize yourself with like kind of how everything works.
Nah, if like combo 1 with Ryu, it's crouching medium fireball. You gotta do this. I don't care. You're gonna do it. And it should, and then it should just put you in that menu and say you can't play the game until you do it. If you want to play Ryu, we're gonna put a little lock symbol over him. You cannot play him until you do the crouch medium fireball. Then we're gonna unlock it. That would, I think people would hate it, but it's a little tough love. They'd appreciate it.
It's I don't know. I was thinking about this earlier today of the people who obviously start up one of these games, can't immediately do the special moves reliably, which is everyone. And then instead of like just practicing at it and spending, 30 minutes to an hour to get it more locked down, they just immediately go online and complain about how these controls are terrible and bad and they shouldn't be there anymore, instead of considering why those inputs are what they are.
And I think part of that, if you want to go back to it, goes along with the social, with like the social formula / network of it, where if you're like, I understand there's always going to be people that are getting mad that they lose.
Yep.
But I feel like more people would play, at least be like, okay, I need to figure out how to do like the scorpion spear in
Mortal Kombat doesn't count because there is no rhyme or reason to those special moves. They just picked random ass inputs to differentiate themselves from Street Fighter.
Yeah.
But Street Fighter, it is very hard to do a Shoryuken input while you're holding down back. They are punishing you for being a coward.
I was just trying to say that like some of that masochism of instant quit complain can be compared where like if you're in a setting and you do that and someone in real life calls you a weenie. Like there's a bigger difference between complaining and having scrub quotes tweet at you and you just go, oh, no, I just delete my Twitter account that has 2 followers.
You just delete your Twitter account of 20 followers.
Then being the guy. Which I feel like it's being that guy is way easier online, which leads to way more salt and way more like rudeness.
Yep. It's also, God, it's keyboard warriors. It's so much easier, too, to, like, entrench your heels than to just, like, getting called out in person of, like, no, you're just bad. Like, it's fine, you're just bad. It's fine, but you're just bad.
It's okay to be bad.
Yeah, seriously.
It's really fine. But then again, without, as we said, without the social interaction of just hanging out, where it is fine to be bad. If you're sitting there alone in your room It just keeps saying you lose at the start of it. Then you're gonna say screw this. I'm gone.
Yeah.
Because I get that. Nolan was sick, but now he is well. Nolan,
Oh, yeah.
what did you do in your sickness?
To get sick.
You get sick? I may have caught it from work or something, but
That's probably usually where
I
the illness
just picked
comes
up
in.
some gross sinusy thing. I've been
Ew.
dealing with it for a week. I know, I hate it.
He was touched by grandfather Nurgle.
Yeah. Yeah. It's because I watched the Adeptus Ridiculous episode about Grandfather
Hold
Nurgle.
I need to spray my phone with antiseptic so I don't
Yeah.
get sick.
There you go.
Which may have worked, because then I just started watching more Adeptus Ridiculous. So that might have been their
It's a good
plan.
podcast.
So it's a really good podcast.
Good podcast. I would say that even with I'm biased, very biased.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They paid you. That's
they
why.
paid me money for a drawing I did, and then I
They
saw
gave you
people
sweet
wearing that shirt, which kind of freaked me out. But that's okay.
In
Well,
real life or online?
Oh, pictures online, not in real
Okay.
life. In real life, I would be really freaked out.
If they were still available, I'd buy one and then wear it in front of you.
Yeah. I think that's how Bricky does his store. He just does limited runs because
Yeah, I
otherwise
can't
it's
find
just,
it anymore because I did look.
Yeah, because he which I support. That's how you keep your business trim.
Yep. Sustainable.
Yep. But yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, but if I saw someone wearing that shirt, I'd be so embarrassed.
They'd look at you and they'd be like, "Is that Raylith? Is that you?"
Oh no! And that'd run away. I am terrified. I am. Despite me putting my crap out into the ether a lot, like if someone in real life notices me, I get incredibly self-conscious.
That's exactly what we were talking about. It's way harder to be that guy in person.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is because it's like, oh no, they know me. They're looking at me. Hey. But yeah, that's that. I was also thinking of embarrassment. Did anyone besides me check out that sick NFL Pro Bowl skills competition garbage?
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought you were going to say the Grammys.
Oh, I didn't watch the Grammys.
I knew you
No.
weren't, but I was like, is he going to say the Grammys?
No, man, that Pro Bowl was garbage.
Yeah, it was sucked.
It was terrible.
I was confused. I'm like, is this a halftime show? Is this a pregame show? Is this the thing?
Oh, it was real bad.
No.
Like, I respect them for trying. Because the NFL Pro Bowl has... So, because me and my dad, we watched a little bit of it. We watched, like, one of the flag football games to see what was going on. And it was kind of bad. The worst part was that flag football has so many different rules than regular football that, like, the players were getting confused. Because stuff in muscle memory doesn't work in flag football. Where, like you would have like people seeing the quarterback open and just rush him, and then they're like, "No, you can't do that in flag football."
Yeah, it's a time. There's a time frame. You have to wait 5 seconds, and then you can rush him.
Then you can't do it. But the guys were like, "But no, my brain for like X amount of years is if he's open, I go. Not if he's open, I have to look. Give him 5." And I thought that was funny.
I don't like the idea of just watching pro players play what your drunk dad and uncles would be playing in the backyard.
I do. No, actually, I don't. I think the problem is, so the NFL
The drunk dads and uncles aren't also playing with the pros.
Yes.
Oh yeah, like no, they're getting out of breath and they're just dropping and just fucking up.
What we need to
it's
do,
fun.
because my dad and I, we were discussing this, of like the NFL Pro Bowl presents a problem, which is the NBA All-Star game works because all they do is not play defense, so everyone gets to do their cool shots and dunks, and you're like, oh, cool, because no one's really trying to defend it. It's like, yeah, he's going to run up there and do a sick dunk, and everyone's going to clap. But that doesn't work in football, like, at all. So they keep trying to do stuff. Like, they tried to do a cool catch or whatever, but all they were doing was, like, jumping on a trampoline and doing a flip while catching a ball. And it's like, that doesn't work as the same as the
dumb.
contest. Like the dunk contest, you can kind of get. You can
Yeah.
see it, even if you don't like agree. Like I get it. It doesn't work. I like the idea
Listen.
of pros versus Joes.
Yeah.
We also had I had the idea that they need to steal from soccer, where so in soccer, like the leagues, there's at the end there's always like the promotion game where like people get bumped up to the major leagues and bumped out of the major leagues.
Oh yeah.
So what I thought they should do is instead of having the Pro Bowl, you have the two teams with the worst record and they have to play for the first round draft pick. So even if you like,
oh, I like that.
so even if you're garbage all the way through, you could be like, oh, we're gonna get the first round draft pick. Like, no, you gotta beat the second to last team to get that first round pick.
Yeah.
Of course, the second team's gonna get the second, so they're still gonna get like improvements and stuff. But that's what you do. Like, no, you gotta play for that. So you could end your team of like a loss, and then you lost the first round pick. You gotta need that pressure.
Yeah, make it fun.
Make it fun, or just make it like weird rules.
Man, gridiron sucks.
I also like
Compared
the
to
idea
football.
of just
I will dare say all football sucks.
no football's great.
Soccer's okay.
I like soccer
Nope.
a lot.
Soccer's
sorry.
boring as hell.
Soccer
Football is
rules, Drew. It's so there's so much action and drama the entire time.
No, there's not. There's grown men crying because they didn't get hit.
That's gamesmanship.
Yeah.
They're gamesmanshipping, Drew. They're drawing the foul.
That's garbage.
They're drawing
The more meta gaming something has, the worse it is.
We were talking about like the soccer rules and like the way you end the flopping is that if you do flop, your team plays a man down.
Yeah.
Like regardless if you're injured. So if you're on the ground rolling around, they cart you off for 5 minutes.
No, it's the hockey box.
Yeah, like we talked.
You're
like,
out for a bit.
Yeah, you get out.
Yeah.
If it doesn't matter because listen, if you're hurt, you're gonna need that time to recover. So your team doesn't get to sub in anyone. So if you're gonna flop, you'd better like be flopping to like really flopping because otherwise you're giving the team a power play. See that's how you fix it. That would fix it. Because then it's going, okay. It's still a strategy. You could still try to draw that foul, take out one of their guys, but you're playing a man down. But anyway, I like
It's the Key and Peele skit where he flops so hard his soul goes to heaven. And then as soon as like the red card is issued, he's just like, St. Peter, peace, I'm out.
goes right back. Gets that stuff sprayed on him, and then he just comes back in. I like soccer. All right. Yeah, I also wanted to talk about how all the live services games are dying. Like all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Rumbleverse.
Biggest loss.
The only one I
my
cared
opinion.
about. There was like a ton of them that died, and then Rumbleverse, I'm like, aw.
It was the Knockout City.
Like a lot of mobile ones.
What was the one Square Enix put out for
All
like
of
less
them?
than a year?
Oh, Marvel.
It was Marvel, also
Avengers?
Babylon's Fall, also the Final Fantasy. Like basically every one of Square Enix's live services shut down. Because you can't.
So what you're telling me is the NFT marketplace failed not because of the baked-in concept of NFTs, but because Square Enix touched it.
You could argue that. You could argue that's the whole metric of Square Enix from like its inception is that it's a constant failures, and then they have one game that brings them back. Because that's how their entire company works. They'll make one good game, it'll make them successful, and then they squander it until they're like, all right, gang, we have to make one good game to bring us back, and then it comes back. That's how they work. That's why Final Fantasy was called Final Fantasy, because it was
No, that's not true.
Is that not true?
No, that's not true.
I thought that was true.
That's just an urban legend.
I'm going to accept it as true. It's gonna be my
That's fine. It's bullshit, but I believe
yeah.
it. That's yeah.
It's gonna be my alternative fact. But
You're
anyway,
gonna Mandela affect that one.
yeah, we're gonna put it in the psychic ether. It'll make it true. But even if it wasn't, that's still how that company works. Is that they get one good game and then they squander it constantly, and then they make another good game and then they squander it relentlessly, and then they're like, all right,
Well, that's not true, Kevin. There's the third game that is Kingdom Hearts, where they just endlessly milk it.
yeah. But Kingdom Hearts usually comes out when like at the dark. Like Kingdom Hearts came out, if memory serves, between all those crappy Final Fantasy VII PlayStation 2 games where they're like, "Yo, Dirge of Cerberus, let's go."
What about the bouncer, Kevin?
Oh,
Everyone
I
loves
forgot the
bouncer.
bouncer.
Yeah.
God, man, like Square Enix is so it ruins itself. It's fascinating. But then again, that's kind of like every video game company is just constantly ruining themselves.
Well, I mean, what about the Quiet Man?
Yeah, the Quiet Man.
They're dropping the ball.
What about like when they made Deus Ex and it was good and everyone liked it, and then they said
And
it's
then
not good enough, and then they tried to like put in all the DLC to it, and then it's like, but everyone liked the Deus Ex.
No, just leave it.
Like Deus Ex, I want to say was like critically enjoyed. I liked Human Revolution a lot.
Oh yeah.
The Mankind Divided I still liked, even though it had all the monetization garbage tried to like thrown in there, and you're like, what are you doing?
You want to spend $5 on the extra shotgun pack?
You want to just buy some levels?
Yeah, go ahead.
You want to do it? So that was actually part of like the 20-hour Skyrim video. Was the guy went through like all he covered like all of the Bethesda included DLC packs that were like, do you want to buy this house for $5? And he like talked about it. And man, all those were bad. It's also like
well, don't worry, it's not going to be in the new game. We know that for sure.
I don't know.
God.
That series of like, I watched all of like Patrician TV's Morrowind, Skyrim, and Oblivion videos, which are like 30 hours of talking about Elder Scrolls. And I get it, because I feel like I get what I don't agree with him on everything, as you would expect. No. But I do agree with the main points of like, those games are incredibly disappointing and kind of mediocre, but they still give you an experience that you kind of can't get in like other RPG kind of world scenarios. Because like,
so Jeff,
oh, you go.
Jeff Gershman brought up a good point of like the next Elder Scrolls game, probably not the next one, but the one after that. AI generative content will probably be at such a point that it could almost be an endless game of like the AI just like making its own like plot points for like mini quests, side quests, and character voices.
So like a lot of that is done in Skyrim, where like a lot of whenever a quest is radiant, it's basically saying like, you need to go to Whiterun Temple and get the stone.
But the problem is like they're just all kind of the same quest and boring.
Yeah, that was also in the game, I want to say Daggerfall. It was procedurally generated, like all of it, other than like the main quest. So like if you wanted to go to the town, whatever, it was just randomly done. And also kind of like Caves of Cud does that, where everything is randomly generated except like specific main quest DLC or whatever. So it's like if you might encounter the bandit camp in the swamp that's led by a talking shark man, and he'll be
is it Cud or Quud?
I think it's Cud. Like a thing a cow eats. I think, but no one knows exactly. There's a developer
No one's
interview,
ever said it out loud.
but I haven't watched it yet. He probably says the correct term.
Oh, I hope he switches.
Oh, there you go. But yeah, I would say it's cud. Like
Chewing on some cud.
because that's how I consider it. It's more of like the little bit grosser, which is how that game works. As the game where you can eat the cloaca surprise and turn into a giant slug. I feel like there's a bit of grossness and body horror to it. It's a great game.
Listen, I only want AI to do one thing for me.
What's that?
Let's make more Seinfeld episodes.
Did you see how it got like suspended?
How
Yeah.
it got transphobic.
Yeah, like
Yes.
like the
Oh, come on.
inevitable,
It's always going to get there.
the inevitable,
Every time.
the inevitable fate of all AI is the internet will try to turn it into Hitler. It doesn't matter how it starts; the internet will find a way to try to do it. Which says
It'll never not be Hitler.
it's gonna go there. Someone's gonna try to sneak that in there, and you're like, oh.
Come
Come
on, guys.
See, that's how the Skynet's gonna work. Because someone's gonna try to. That's why it killed all the humans. Because someone.
I used to be like, there's no way we could actually make a Skynet, because I think by now we'd understand to be nice to machines. No,
we're making
gonna happen.
No, we're gonna make a Skynet, and then we're gonna make it like a racist Skynet.
No,
It's not an if, it's going to be a win.
No, it's if we've learned anything from the internet, they're just gonna make Skynet and make it designed to kill everyone because that's what it was in the movie.
Oh, that's true. That is true. Check out my super cool robotic cop. I call him Ed 209.
No, guys, we're going to turn around. It's going to be made to kill, but then we're going to, bombard it with dumb information, and then it'll be good. It'll go the other way.
So you'll say that like we'll have like Skynet will be the the Facebook mom meme conservative, and that's like what it'll be. It won't be because remember nothing can be cool. Because let me tell you, even that start of Terminator where everyone's crap and shooting blue and red lasers. And I'm like, yeah, that sucks. But those blue and red lasers are kind of cool. Like, we're not getting that.
No.
Mm-mm.
We're getting like Skynet will be like, behold her emails. I checked the balloon.
I feel like we would just give Skynet depression and it would just kill itself.
What was that? There was something about where the AIs kept getting sad.
I know.
I don't remember. It wasn't the one about the horror story about digitizing your own AI and then putting it into the forklift until it goes insane and wants to kill itself.
I mean, yeah, that is one. It was like the grad student who took part in the brain mapping.
Yeah.
And then he's like, this was my single greatest regret in life.
Because I doomed myself to everything. I also consider that horrifying. Just my spookiness about that one is the fact that if you could digitize my own brain to put it in a computer and talk to it, you could eventually figure out all of my darkest secrets because you would through trial and error know what to say to get me to say that.
Mm-hmm.
It's and then even horror. It's like, yo, check it out. Here is the whatever things you can say to Kevin Brain that will get him to change his opinion on something. All you gotta do is say X, then Y, then Z, then whatever, and you can get him to do whatever you want.
And more than that, that means just save states will get released too, where it can be oh, you can just load up this Kevin, and he's just now revealed his deepest, darkest secret. So now you can just do whatever you want next. You can just laugh at him for it. You can.
Oh, that gave me such a bad feeling.
It totally tormented him.
Someone says, "Here's the one where you can upload Kevin and then laugh at him, and then make him feel real bad. Here's the one where you can
actually make him remember the worst moments of his life
forever."
And then once that's over, you just go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then you give them some new ones. I don't like this. See, that's why I don't know. I don't like the AI. I
Yeah.
don't like it. I think it's I also don't like it was on like another tweet where it was talking about how like in the future they've always said that like we're going to make AI to do all the menial labor while like the humans can pursue their creative endeavors, where it seems that now we're going to like no, we're going to make the AI do all the creative endeavors and you get to pull the lever.
No, Kevin, please. We're also making the creative endeavors menial labor, and now the AI is also doing them as well.
Okay, that's more fair. That was the oh, it just makes me there's like a dwarf fortress where
Oh,
like
good. So you mean like things are going to be cheaper, going
no.
to be
No.
less work?
No, they're going to be
No,
more expensive.
no. There's going to be more work and more expensive.
Yeah.
You're actually going to get less money overall,
Yeah, we're gonna make it work. We're gonna make that one go.
except for the boss, who gets more money.
Yeah, like we're gonna
It-
like our society, we'd have the Star Trek replicator, and somehow it would like it would lead to even greater wealth inequality. like
Yeah.
like we'd figure it out. We'd figure out a box where you can make anything come out of it, and then that's gonna lead to somehow more social stratification.
Yeah, it's just going to turn into that means the laborers are being paid to go out collect resources that the boss just throws in and pumps out more gold for themselves.
No, honestly, because like in that one, the
Yeah.
doesn't okay. I don't know how this does the Star Trek replicator just use like anything and turn it into like
Yeah,
stuff.
but like it has to have matter, so you take
like
whatever you're done with and you throw it into the machine to get rid of it,
okay,
and then it uses that to make new stuff.
so it just you need like X amount of atoms, and then it turns that atoms into atoms of whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Hey,
No,
boss,
let's
you
be
know there's
honest.
a dial on there to turn stuff into things besides gold. No, there's not. I had that removed.
yeah.
No, there's going to be a point where it's like, boss, we can't find any stuff. Oh well, who's the worst worker here?
Put him
Go
in
ahead,
it.
get in the box.
Put him in the box. Put him in the box. Can't you just
Johnson, I told you I wanted those reports. You just wouldn't get them for me,
You're in the
Johnson.
box. But why do I have to get in the box, sir? Couldn't I just, like we just make the box do something else, and you're already in the box. You're in there. Speaking of the box, so I keep seeing that Apple picture.
Thankfully, we had a brain scan of Johnson, so he'll live on forever.
Oh no! What? So that Apple picture that goes around, the one where it says "close your brain" and like picture the apple, and which apple do you see? Like, I don't know if I can do it. Like, I don't know if I could do the apple picture.
So, okay, let me ask you this: if you think about Goku,
Yeah.
can you see Goku in your brain?
But that's the thing is that I cannot see him. I can like visualize, like I can kind of like I know what Goku looks like in like a false memory I can create, but I can't like I've never been able to literally close. That's the thing I don't get. Like I can't literally close my brain eyes and just say Goku and Goku pops up. I can't do that. But I can like I know what Goku looks. I can read books and have pictures show up in my brain. If that makes sense. Like, I have some form of visualization, but I can't do the apple. That's my issue. Because usually when Oh, okay.
Okay, see, that's what I don't get, because you're not the only one. I was just reading, and some other people were like, yeah, like, I'm not completely understanding what the other side is. Like, I could understand if, like, there was no visualization happening.
Yeah, like
But there is visualization happening.
Yeah, it's not like I read because I've seen kids and I've had to do it where like you'd say like, the red ball bounces down the hill. And like mentally you can kind of like put that together in your brain of like what it looks like. And then if I said the red ball bounces down the hill and then I ask you what color is the hill, I can tell you, no, that hill's green.
Yeah.
But like I can't close my eyes and just see it like I'm looking when my eyes are open. Like I don't have that level of visualization. So I don't know. Am I like I feel like when I see that thing, it gives me anxiety because I'm like, I think I'm 5, but I'm not like 5 where there's nothing going on there.
Well, I mean, that's what the other ones are for too. It's not just.
I know.
It's not binary.
I thought it was binary.
No, that's why it's like 5 is like fully detailed and everything, and then it can get like less distinct as you get up. Or 1 is like fully detailed, and like 5 is not at all.
Wait, are you saying people don't like imagine the apple with its imperfections?
Yeah, so like Kevin's saying, like,
like I cannot close my eyes and have the picture appear in my brain. Like,
yeah, mine's not a red apple. That's weird because mine's where it's like a little green on top and it's still got some blemishes, and then it's red at the bottom. That's my apple in my head.
Yeah, but you see the apple though.
Yeah.
Like it comes out.
Kevin
of your
doesn't
eyeballs.
have a mental eye.
I don't. I have no brain in mental. Like I can picture things and kind of in my head. I can tell you like what an apple would be. But I cannot close my eyes and see the apple. Even though
what do you mean when you say you can picture the apple?
Well, like I can tell you like if you say like close the apple. Like, this is why it confuses me. like, because on the literal sense of closing your eyes and then, like, in the void, an apple appears. That does not happen.
Yeah, it's like, for me, it feels like, it's just like a 3D model in blank space.
Yeah, like, I just kind of zone out, and then I can kind of, like, picture, like, with my eyes open, like, what the apple would be.
But what do you mean picture? Because you, like,
well, is
there a visual element to it?
No.
It's just like a knowing of what an apple is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like if you tell me like I don't see the apple, but like if you say like, okay, what does the apple look like? I'm like, okay, it's it's round. It has like a little bit of speckled at the top. There's a shininess on it. There's a stem that comes up. The stem has a bit of brown on it. There might be a leaf. Usually there is one leaf at the top. I like that little leaf. But I don't see it. So, basically, I make a false memory and I can describe you that memory.
No. So, in Kevin's mind, it's just the description. It's just a text of what an apple is.
Yeah, but it's not a text.
It's not even a text. It's just a knowing.
It's just a memory.
But you say it's just a memory, but your memories aren't visual either, are they?
Sometimes. See, this is why I wanted to talk about it because
I'm getting confused now.
Oh, I'm confused about how my brain works.
So, Kevin, can you visualize the word apple?
What do you mean?
Like, just like the text, like the letters, like APPLE. Yeah. Can you visualize that in your brain?
Yeah, close your eyes.
Okay, I can close my eyes and I know what they look. I know what the phrase apple looks like. But I'm closing my eyes, and what I see with my eyeballs is just blackness. It's darkness. There's no apple.
Yeah, but you're not. But you're not. So when I visualize with my brain, I'm not visualizing with my eyes. It's like that blackness is still there, but there's like a concept in my brain that is the apple, or that is the word apple.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying it's like the overlay of your consciousness.
You're not actually seeing it.
Yes.
Man.
Okay, see, I thought it was actual seeing. That's what messed me up, is I thought like people close their eyes and then like the apple appears.
No.
I thought that was what people were saying. Like, oh yeah, I just close my eyes and then it's like I'm in the cube world and I'm just going like apple.
No, it's in your mind.
Okay.
It's not VR, Kevin.
That's what I thought that the whole thing was. I thought when people were saying that, like, oh yeah, I just close my eyes, and then like in the void, like just it's like boop, like in the Maya 3D creator, the apple appears, and I can like rotate it around. I'm like, I can't do that.
Oh my god.
No.
That's
okay.
That's why I was so confused that you kept using the word picture things. I'm like, why does he keep describing it visually?
Yeah, because I thought it was like a visual. I thought when people imagine, like, they're just closing their eyes and then they're just seeing, like, all right, I'm gonna close my eyes. It's Goku fighting Vegeta, and then it's like they turned on Toonami and there it is.
No.
I'm like, I can't do that. If I could do that, my life would be way different. I would have failed school. I'm like, we're just gonna see Spider-Man all day.
Shit. Oh, that fucking killed me.
That's why I wanted it to be on the podcast.
Okay, so now I think we understand why people are saying this online. Is because they also imagine that
I think there's a significant chunk. I think there's some that can't do it. I think that's just possible. But I think there's a non-significant person that misunderstood what the hell that's happening.
Yeah.
Because I interpreted it as literal. I'm like, I can't literally see things. My eyeballs see black.
I think does it say you see or does it say visualize?
I think it says visualize.
But the problem is, it's going to be internet discourse, so they're going to use them interchangeably.
Or someone's going to try to remake that and change like the wording of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because someone's going to lie to try to seem real cool.
Yeah, no, that's the other guy, and it's in your brain. So ultimately, it's at that point where I'm like, I don't care. Like, okay.
Yeah, I'm not doing this. There's no humble brag here.
I'm gonna be like, oh, that's so weird. I can't like hear sounds in my brain and replay them that way. That's what I'm gonna do at that point.
Well, I think that's just an offshoot of the internal voice dialogue that happens sometimes.
Yeah, and because apparently that's where this conversation started online. From. Yeah, like, do you have internal narration or not?
That's 100% yes. Oh man, I have I do the Nathan for you / rehearsal of conversations I'm gonna have with people constantly. Because I need to know what I'm going to say. And then I usually forget what I was going to say, and then it just kind of comes.
You got to run the simulations.
Oh, I got to run the simulations all the time. Otherwise it turns bad. Then people see the true self, but I have to hide it. I have to hide the true self. Always hide the true self, kids.
Until you can be yourself.
Yeah.
Until the TV sucks you into the midnight channel.
That's true. Then you just accept it. I feel at that point you just gotta go with it.
Yep. It's like, well, you guys are seeing it. This is the truth. Yep, that's me.
That's me. That's what I'm into. I can't hide it. We're in the magic gestalt. That's it.
You're in my brain.
You're looking at it. See, I think, is that why Persona won't work if you're an adult? If a bunch of adult, because I have enough of even if it's really embarrassing and bad, it's yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yep. What are you gonna do?
It's literally just going to be you, and you're like, hey, you want to play some games or watch a movie? And your shadow self will be like, yeah, sure.
No, it's gonna be a representation of you, and it's gonna be here's all the tags I like on the hentai, and you're like, yeah, I didn't really want to broadcast that, but it's here now. I mean,
didn't want that to be on the open, but all right.
What are tags? Hentai? I've never heard of that.
Your party's like, dude, we know. Don't worry, we get it. We understand.
It's gonna be short stack goblins. We all know. It's
no. The thing, the party goes, we know, but we didn't like to think about it. It's yeah,
that's what it really is.
Yeah, I mean, you can put 2 and 2 together, but I feel that's why it wouldn't work too well.
Yeah.
Also, I think there's the thing of it's I can't deny oh, that's not me when we're in the psychotronic alternate magic or dimension. It's yeah.
Yeah. That's where the psychotronic psychic dimension just has to lie and make something up. It's no, that's not me.
Then I'd get real mad.
That's true. Here's the real embarrassing thing.
You think you know me? You think you
Then
could?
it just starts showing all this MAGA Oathkeeper stuff.
Oh, that would piss me off. I'd be furious. How dare you? How dare you? Don't do that. I have lots of other embarrassing traumas. Don't make them up. You know what? Okay, this actually kind of goes into something. It's like I've started using Tumblr a bit more. Some of my Twitter friends have used Tumblr, but unfortunately, some of my Twitter friends are furries, so now Tumblr thinks I'm a furry.
Listen, Kevin, you just filter that tag. I have it filtered anyway, because I'm following some like furry artists apparently.
No, well then
And I
it's
only know that
because it's what
and
they
I
like.
only know that because, yep, and I only know that because it'll pop up and it'll be like, hey, this tag contains a tag. This post contains a tag you filter.
Okay, I need
And
to
I'll
do
click
that.
it and it's just like, oh, this is just an anthropomorphized person. This is fine. This doesn't bother me. But
I
I'm
thought
not
that was just
untagging it.
regular Tumblr. I didn't know there's.
Oh no,
something
it'll
specific to that.
adjust. It'll try to show you some things.
Okay,
Yep.
I thought that was just basic. Okay, never mind. I'll fix that.
It's also,
Oh.
but like it doesn't gross me out or anything.
No.
To be clear, but
I just don't wanna see it.
I did have concerns when the one where it was a oh god, this is a vivid mental picture. I hope you're as 5. I hope you out there you're a 5, where it was a cartoon drawing of a sink, but the sink's faucet was a wolf head and like a furry wolf head, and he was like vomiting water like in a pleasing way, and inside of his sink belly other anthropomorphized plush tall furries were taking a bath inside of him and were thrilled.
You know what? That doesn't bother me as much as I thought it would. But that does. I don't know. That one's just so abstract.
It was weird.
Like,
It's not.
I feel
It's,
nothing.
it's not like there was nothing obscene. Like none of them had like their dicks out or anything.
You know, we may have to see that. Go ahead and post
I don't know where it is.
that.
but all right. Later days, everybody.
Later
On
days,
that note,
everyone, go look for it. Picture your brains. Bye.
See ya.